Game development conferences are like ripe lemons, filled with opportunity. Over the next 11 minutes, I'm going to tell you everything I wish I knew before attending one, to help you make the most of it. This is a collaboration with GameSoundCon. If you've never been to a game dev conference, it usually looks something like this. You walk around the expo, talk to people, play games, try out new products and software, and collect merch and goodies. Then you might go to a couple of talks and learn some awesome things, after which you run into a friend who introduces you to their friend. And congratulations, you've just networked. And the best part of it is because it's a conference, people usually have name tags, so you don't have to be stressed about remembering loads of new names at the same time and then immediately forgetting like the large majority of them, which always happens to me. During and after the conference, there are usually lots of events and parties where you go to a venue, hang out, talk to people, eat and drink. I try to find out what events are happening and put the ones that I like into my calendar. And if there are tickets, I try and purchase and reserve them in advance. If you're a regular conference goer, then this is usually where you'll see a lot of your longtime friends. And if you've never been, then this is the perfect place to make new friends, as this is not only die-hard game audio crowd, but also everyone is there to chat, make new friends, and just enjoy the evening. It can be pretty scary talking to people you've never met though. However, I use these 3 icebreakers that are pretty good at starting a conversation. Number 1, what brings you to this conference? Number 2, what area of game audio or game development are you in? Number 3, what games are you currently playing? Generally, those 3 are good to start off a conversation and get the ball rolling. When I go to events alone, I usually get a little bit anxious, so I try to find out if other people I know are going, which usually helps me calm my nerves. And I do that by posting on my socials and just messaging people directly. It's even better if you can go to the conference with other people in the first place, because then you'll be in a group already. If you're going to GameSoundCon this year, then feel free to come and meet up with me and Lewis. We've got a group chat on Airwiggles, link in the description, which you can join. We'll post details in there of where we are and kind of what things we'll be going to. So yeah, we'd love to see you there. Objectives and financials. When thinking about going to a conference, there are a number of things to consider. What you want to get out of it? What type of conference is it? What type of ticket should you get? How far away is it? And how expensive is it going to be? Let's take the example of my upcoming GameSoundCon trip. My objectives are to make new friends and meet people from the game audio and Airwiggles community. I also want to promote Airwiggles and game audio learning. I want to stay on the lookout for new opportunities and collaborations for Airwiggles and sound cuts, as well as take some pictures and film some footage, which we can hopefully use in some videos. So what type of conference is GameSoundCon? Well, as the name says, it's all about game audio. It has loads of educational talks from pros, and you'll find companies that make products for people in the industry. And yeah, you can talk to their representatives there. You can also arrange meetings with people who you know will be attending. And when you're looking at going to a conference, you should consider your objectives in the context of the conference and how they will fit. If you're a freelance composer or sound designer looking to connect with new clients, then you'll find different people at different conferences. At a game audio centered one, it would be outsourcing companies or audio directors you will probably try and speak to because they will be there. At game development centric ones, it will probably more be indie developers or bigger studios that are looking to hire. So now we want to figure out what types of tickets should we get. Usually game dev conferences have different types of tickets which have various perks. Some, like Develop Brighton, will offer tickets for certain days and have the option to either only go to the expo, which might even be free, or to attend the talks as well, which usually is a lot more expensive for obvious reasons. But if you're simply trying to network and are on a tight budget, it might make sense to just get the expo pass and hang out in the meetup spots. But if you're looking for knowledge, then the talks will be a treasure trove, which you definitely want to open. So at GameSoundCon, there are the following ticket options, which are on your screen right now. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm very lucky and I don't have to pay because we are partnering up with GSC and making some cool stuff with them in return. So basically, we're both getting value, and that is something that you can do too, either by being a speaker, if you have knowledge to share, or by being a volunteer and offering up your time and skills to help out. Occasionally, there are also programs that help underprivileged individuals attend conferences like GameSoundCon, and one of those is the Game Audio Diversity Alliance, which you can find in the description below. So what about travel and costs? Well, GameSoundCon is in Burbank, California in the USA, so it's pretty far away from where I live in the UK. But attending has been on my bucket list for a while, so I really wanted to make it happen. So when it comes to traveling, I do it pretty regularly, and the best way to ensure that your trip will be cheap and easy but comfortable is to plan well ahead. So first, how are we gonna get there? Well, when it comes to travel, buddying up with your friends can not only make the journey more fun, but also cheaper. If you live in driving distance to the location, then doing a rideshare and paying for petrol is usually a pretty good option. Otherwise, try and book your plane, train, or bus tickets far in advance. When it comes to accommodation, friends again are the key to keeping the costs low and the fun high. You could stay at a friend's house and go couch surfing, band together and get an Airbnb, or share a hotel room, which Lewis and I are doing. If you're working for a company, you might also be able to convince them to pay for your travel and accommodation, and if you're self-employed, then you should be able to write it off of your taxes. Whew! So, what about packing and what to bring? Well, that is always a really good question. I have a list of essentials, and this is it. First off, small backpack, because you'll be wanting to go hands-free, and putting everything in a backpack is just very convenient. It's easy to carry on your back, and yeah, no hassle. Inside, I definitely always have my phone, my power bank, and a cable, because so many things are online now, or just you need a phone for most things, from Google Maps to whatever, paying for stuff. So yeah, making sure it's charged is always useful. Then when it comes to clothes and shoes, something that you feel good but comfortable in, because you'll be on your feet a lot. I generally go for like black company branded t-shirt, SoundCuts of course represent, and then cargo shorts, not shorts, sorry, cargo trousers, or cargo shorts even if it's hot, because more pockets and they're just really, really comfortable. And then my black trainers, which are again very, very comfortable for long periods of time. I also always bring earplugs with me because I've got pretty sensitive hearing, and when you're at the after events and there's lots of people crammed into a small room potentially, or just lots of people in a bigger room, then it's just pretty loud, and I like to have the option to put in earplugs to hear people better and just have a more mellow experience. I also bring a note-taking device, or like a tablet, because it's better to write than on your phone, especially during talks, which kind of, you know, it's fine, but I feel a bit rude taking my phone out, and so having something analog to write is usually nice, or like I said, a tablet. Also a QR code or business card, which you can give out to people, so it makes it easy to connect and give your contact details. Then also refillable water bottles, super important to stay hydrated, and snacks for when you need a little power up. Bonus, throat lozenges are super useful for when your voice needs some support after working very, very hard. So we've gone through all this stuff before and during the conference, but what about after the conference? Well, after it's finished, there are a couple more opportunities for us to capitalize on so we can get the most out of this whole experience. Number one is to follow up with people. At a conference, we meet lots of people, and I found that the ones that I reach out to after the conference and follow up with tend to build into good relationships, so I definitely recommend shooting an email or a message on Airwiggles or LinkedIn or other social media. Opportunity two, write down the top 3 things you've learned, because things that get written down tend to stick better in your memory, and if they don't, well, you can just absorb the knowledge again. And you can also share the lessons with other people in the community, like for example on Airwiggles. Opportunity number 3 is, if you took any pictures, well, why not share these as well? I personally love seeing pictures of people having fun at events, even if I'm getting some FOMO when I'm not there. And it's always awesome when someone snaps a selfie with me, posts it, and tags me. On a more businessy and brand level, well, it can usually be useful to showcase yourself being part of the community and can help other people better connect with you by seeing the person behind the online profile in action in the real world. So thank you for watching. You can catch me at GameSoundCon, and if you want to go, use the code that's on screen right now for 10% off. Thank you so much to Brian Schmidt and GameSoundCon for sponsoring this video, and if you want to chat with me, then you can find me on airwiggles.com. Have a wiggly day, and see you there.